Hi everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we're making this beautiful princess skirt that is part of my Halloween costume actually, but it is so fabulous. We are making this long maxi skirt, but this pattern is so versatile that you could make this into a mini skirt. You could make just the shell of this design. You don't have to add these embellishments. You can just have a long skirt, and you can see the photo on my blog of just the long skirt piece without the embellishments of anything. But I'm adding these sides to make it more princessy and pretty. Well, before we get started, I want to talk about the supplies you're going to need to make this, and then I'll answer some frequently asked questions, and then we'll get right into making this beautiful piece. So the supplies we need, the yarn I'm using is this Lion brand yarn. This is Modern Baby yarn, and I am using the color yellow, okay? You can use any light or size 3 yarn. You could even use a worsted weight yarn, like a double knitting yarn. That's totally fine. This is a thinner yarn that I'm using. It's very much equivalent to like a Caron Simply Soft or a soft cotton yarn. This is an acrylic and nylon blend. I would recommend a nylon just because it is stretchy, or you can do a cotton yarn. You can definitely do this in a cotton yarn that is a lighter type of yarn. And this skein is 173 yards each, and I ended up using about like almost 10 skeins so to make my skirt. And I'll get into the measurements and everything pretty soon for the sizing you're going to need. Obviously, if you're going to need to make your skirt bigger, you are going to need more yarn, but this is the type of yarn I am using. Lion brand yarns, Modern Baby. So again, 10 skeins of this. I bought this online from craftsy.com. I will have the links to finding that yarn in there in the blog and everything. So you can get the same yarn, same color if you want to. They have different colors in this yarn as well. Also, you're going to need some ribbon for this project. I'm using a 7/8 inch ribbon that is yellow. You can use any style of ribbon you want, thick or thin, it does not matter. You're just going to need some for the waistband. Otherwise, if you wanted to, you could add some elastic instead of using a ribbon, or some type of tie rope, or some type of thin rope type of thing instead of a ribbon. So that's just a optional piece, I guess, for the waistband. You're going to need something, though, to tie the waistband, because we're making this all in one solid tube, and then you're going to need to cinch the waistband closed because it doesn't increase at all. It's basically just a long tube. The size hook I'm going to demonstrate this square. I'm so used to doing the 365 days of granny squares. So the skirt is going to be made using an I size hook, which is 5.5 millimeters. So make sure you have that handy, as well as a yarn needle and a scissors, because we're going to cut our yarn and sew in our ends, and these tools come in handy when we are cutting off any loose ends and then sewing them in. So I'm just using my nice handy dandy fiskars and my yarn needle here. You're also going to, if you need to use a stitch marker, you can, because this skirt part, this main part of our skirt, is going to be worked in continuous rounds. We're not slip stitching and chaining up anything. We are working in continuous rounds, so if you need to mark the beginning of your round, you can mark it with a stitch marker. Now, going on to frequently asked questions. Sizing is the biggest question I get. So can we make this bigger? Can we make this smaller? Yes and yes. You're just going to need to do this in multiples of 14 stitches to get this design. So I am going to start out with 140 chain, or 140, we're actually doing foundation double crochet, and you'll see that in the tutorial. But I'm starting with 140. You can do as many as you need. So just start out with whatever amount that is in a multiple of 14 to make yours as wide as you need to be. Also, we are going to measure this length here. So for mine, I guess I'll just measure it here. It's about 45 centimeters, okay, across, and that's straight up and down. This is a straight up and down skirt. So it's about 45 centimeters, which is about 18 inches across. So completely around, it's about 36 inches around, okay? So that is the measurement for the width of this thing. Now for the length, let me do this sideways here. From top to bottom, now keep in mind you can make this as long as you want. Mine is about 77 centimeters. Okay, whoopsie, sorry, 77. That's a 7, but it is 77, okay, centimeters, which is about 30 inches. 30.5 inches or so. So that is the measurement for mine. I'm obviously a short person. So like I said though, you can make this as long as you need it to be. Okay? Then, you know, make it as long as you want it to be and then go on to making the scallop edge. You could eliminate the scallop edge. You don't even have to have that. Also, then you're going to have to do the waistband. We're coming back to the beginning here and making a waistband to put our ribbon through. And then also these side panel half circles are totally optional, but we're making those as well. And those ones, when I explain to you at the end of this video, when we do make this, you can make those as big or small as you want, and I explain how to do that later on. So that's the skirt. That is it. So before we start, I have to mention there are other links in the description of this video. So like there's going to be that link to the yarn and all the information you're going to need for this project. There's a link to my blog, YARNutopia.com, where you'll get the written pattern. It's a free written pattern available to you on YARNutopia.com, so you'll be able to find that there along with photos, and the video tutorial will be on my website as well. I'll share it to my Facebook, and I'll share it to my Instagram, and you can find me on Snapchat. I've been actually snapping along the way little clips here and there of this costume, and I'm really excited for Halloween, so you can see my costume. Also, I have to mention, like I said, though, there are the links to the Facebook and Instagram too. So make sure you're following me. Like my page on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Snapchat, all the social media, so that if you want to post a photo of your work, you can hashtag YARNutopia, or you can tag me in your work and all that good stuff, so I'll definitely be able to see your skirts. Also, I have to say one last thing. A huge thank you to my dad, Fuad, Azmat, for taking the time to make this video with us. He's our videographer, editor, and photographer for every single one of our videos, all the 365 days of Granny Squares, and all of these extra videos for bigger projects. So make sure you subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. And also in the corner of this video, there will be an eye that says support us, or support YARNutopia and Fuad Azmat. So make sure you support us, and yeah, we can keep bringing you fantastic crochet tutorials if you do that. So thank you so much to those who have already. You guys are awesome. So now let's get started and make this a beautiful skirt. Let's start by making a slip knot. So put your short end over your long end, then fold this down, and then pull that long end through. Okay, pull tight, and then insert your hook, and we can start. Let's start out, we're going to do foundation double crochets, okay, and we're going to do a multiple of 14. To do a foundation double crochet, we have to chain 3, so yarn over and pull through 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to yarn over, go into the third chain from the hook. So the loop on that hook doesn't count. So count 1, 2, and 3. In that chain there, go in, then yarn over and pull through. Then yarn over and pull through 1 loop on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through 2 loops on your hook. And then yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops on your hook. Okay, that is a foundation double crochet. This section here, this like little chain, these 2 chains here, actually don't count as anything in this project, okay? So we have to make something in the multiple of 14. I am going to do 140 foundation double crochets. So that was one of them. To do this, the second one, we're going to yarn over. Now you see here, there's this loop down here. So if you're looking at your work like this, you want to go in this bottom here. You can see there's a loop. There's actually this loop and then this loop. It looks like the bottom of a chain on your foundation row. Okay, we're going to work through that. So if you're looking at your work like this, I like to work through my work vertically like this, so sideways, I guess. We're going to yarn over, go into that bottom there, so you can see those 2 loops down there, just like that. Okay, then yarn over and pull through. Okay, then yarn over and pull through 1 loop. Okay, that creates that chain look, which is what we're going to work in next. Then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So the next stitch is going to be worked around in that bottom part there. Okay, so this next one, yarn over, go into the bottom. So if you're looking at it, you're looking like this. So this part right here would be the bottom. Okay, so we're going to go down under here. Okay, so yarn over, go into that bottom part, just like that, there. Then yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 more loops, and yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. Okay, so I just made 3 foundation double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to make 140. You can do any multiple of 14 that measures your hip measurement plus about 10 to 15 inches, or like 20 centimeters. Okay, so my hip measurement is about, I don't know, almost, I don't know, 30, 32. I don't really do my measurement, but I'm just going to do 140 of these foundation double crochets to the length that I want it to be. You want it to be much, much wider than your hip measurement. Okay, we're making a big, large tube, and then when we add the ribbon and the waistband, it will cinch everything together. So make it as big as you want it to be. If you want it even bigger, you know, you can go just any multiple of 14. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to do 140 of these foundation double crochets. You can see I'm working it a little bit faster now. I'll work it again slowly. So yarn over, go in the bottom here. You can see that part there. Going underneath those right there. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 1 loop. Then yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, go into that bottom. Okay, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, go into the bottom there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, oops, then yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so that's how it's turning out to look. That just eliminates the chaining, because this is in a multiple of 14, but if you chained a multiple of 14 and then double crocheted, you know, in the 3rd chain from the hook, it would turn out to be a little short. And I'm not into doing that math. I think you could just do a multiple of 14 plus 2 and then double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook and across, if you wanted to do the chaining method, but I just find this to eliminate the chaining method just is a lot faster. So I'm just going to continue working this foundation double crochet row, and then once I have my 140 of these foundation double crochets, I'll meet you up and we'll go on to row 2. Alright, just finishing my last foundation double crochet there. I have 140. So make sure you count that you have a multiple of 14. So this is what it should look like. And you can see here, when you put it together, you want to make sure that it doesn't twist or anything. Okay, so you want to put this, fold this in half, put it over the top of it, just like that. Okay, so we're gonna work in rounds here, okay? So now we want to slip stitch to this first foundation double crochet here, okay? So not this chain up here at all. Remember in the beginning I said that didn't count as anything. So we're gonna go into this first stitch here. So make sure nothing is twisted. This whole foundation double crochet is not twisted in any way, okay? and then just go into that first stitch there, yarn over, pull through, and through. Okay, now what we'll do is actually sew this closed later on. I'm not going to do it right now, but we're going to take this straggler and sew it closed so that this is flat together like this. Okay, but we're going to go on to this next row here, row 2. I'm going to chain up 2, 1, 2, but again, that does not count as anything, okay? Now this is where our continuous pattern comes into play. If you need to, you can put a stitch marker here, but I have this straggler right here to note that this is the beginning of the round, okay? So if you just want to visually just keep a reminder that this is the beginning of the round where we're going to come continuously around. But if you want to, you can put a stitch marker in there, totally fine. What we're going to do is double crochet into the first 5 stitches, so yarn over, go into this next stitch here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, that's a double crochet. So that was 1, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, that's 2, next stitch is 3, next stitch is 4, this is 5. Okay, then we are going to put 3 double crochets in the very next stitch. So yarn over, go into this next stitch, make 3 double crochets all in that same stitch. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 3 double crochets all in that one stitch. Then we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. Just like I showed you earlier. So 1, next stitch, 2, next stitch is 3, next stitch is 4, and the next stitch is 5. Now we are going to make something called a double crochet 3 together. So it's going to make our little like valley here. So we're going to yarn over, go into this next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, but hold it. We're going to yarn over, go into the very next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, but again, hold it. We're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And then you should have 4 loops on your hook. We need to yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops. And that is a double crochet 3 together. Then we're just going to repeat what we did. So double crochet, 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to put 3 double crochets into this next stitch. So 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to double crochet 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do another double crochet 3 together. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on your hook. Just like that. So then just repeat that all the way around this piece. Just double crochet in the next 5 stitches, then 3 double crochets in the next, then double crochet in the next 5 stitches, and then do a double crochet 3 together. So then I'll meet you up at the end of this round after I have done that, and then if you need to, you can follow along with a written pattern, but I'll meet you up for round 3. Alright, when you come back around, you're going to want to examine your piece here so you can see that we have the wavy shape starting to form. Okay, so it's kind of going up and down like that, kind of wavy-ish. It will get more wavy as we go. So you can see up and then down and then up and then down. Okay, kind of like a chevron design. So now, going on to the next round, what we want to do, you want to see here your first grouping, because it depends on how many stitches you have. Your first grouping of 3 double crochets here, okay? You want to count back 5 from this one here. So from the first one, let's see here, from this first double crochet here, you want to count back 5. So this is 1, then 2, whoopsie, here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's the stitch we want to start our next row in, okay? Which means we're skipping this first one. Now if you count back 5 and you get to this first one, then start in this stitch, okay? But that's just a weird, calculation number thing. If you look at this first 3 double crochet grouping right there, look at the one farthest on the right side right here. So count that one as 1, then count backwards 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so on my skirt, it's going to start here. On yours, it may start, here or here. It really doesn't matter. Wherever that ends, that's where you're going to start this next round, okay? And what we're going to do, we're not going to slip stitch to the beginning at all. We're going to work in continuous rounds. And yes, there may be a little gapping hole here, but the side panels are going to cover that later, so you're not even going to have to worry about the gaping hole. So what we're going to do is yarn over. We're going to double crochet in the next 5 stitches, which is where we're going to start, right in that one. So yarn over, go into that stitch, okay, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, go into the next. So the first 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And now we're just, that gap right there, you could probably even just sew that closed with a little tacking of a piece or something. But now we're going to work in continuous rounds, so there will be no seams on this piece. Just that one top seam right there is just going to have that little thing. But nobody's going to see that. So now you're in the middle double crochet of this grouping. We're going to put 3 double crochets in that. 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to double crochet 3 together. So yarn over, go into this next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into this double crochet 3 together stitch right there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, oopsie, there we go, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on your hook. Okay, double crochet 3 together. Then you're going to double crochet in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to put, you're in the middle double crochet here of this next 3 double crochet grouping. So you're going to put 3 double crochets in that. Okay, and you're just going to repeat that established pattern. If you need to, follow along with the written pattern to know where your stitches need to go exactly and how many counts there are. I'm just going to double crochet then in the next 5 stitches, then do a double crochet 3 together, and then double crochet in the next 5 stitches, and then put 3 double crochets in the middle double crochet of the 3 double crochet grouping. And that is going to make a very nice zigzag pattern. As you can see, it's making the chevron design. Now, I just want to mention one thing too. In the beginning here, you could put, see how you can tell that that's the beginning because our straggler is there. But at every round, if you want to, you could put a stitch marker there. Because now we are going to be repeating round 3, okay, for however long you need to make your skirt. Now you could make this skirt a mini skirt, you could make this skirt a maxi skirt, you can make it however you desire. I'm making mine a maxi, so it's going to be very long. And I plan to do about 65 rows or rounds of this. So that is going to take quite a bit of yarn, and it is going to be very long and heavy. But it's going to be beautiful. So I am going to just continue on this repeat pattern now until it is as long as it needs to be. And that's basically it. Just that first part there, that jumping into making a continuous round in this big gap was kind of confusing. So I hope that you understood that part, making it into continuous rounds. But now you can just go on and, you know, now it turns out to be kind of a mindless pattern. We just have to do the counts of 3 and 5. And once you get that on a roll, it will make the chevron design, and you will be able to make this as big as you want. Like I said though, I'm going to do to row or round 65, and then, or I might make it even a little longer, depends on how I feel when I get there. But you can make this as long as you want. So just go ahead and do that, and once my piece is as big as I need it to be, I will meet you up. We'll fasten off together and we'll go on to the waistband, because this has a few multiple pieces, and then there's also embellishments on this piece. So just good luck in making the next 60 some rows, or however big you're going to make yours, and then I'll meet you up for the next step. Good luck! All right, welcome back. That was a hot minute, but it took a few days for me to finish this up. I just repeated that repetition of the 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches, then 3 double crochets in the next stitch, then 1 double crochet in the next 5, and then a double crochet 3 together to make this nice zigzag design. And we just worked in continuous rounds, so there was really no chaining up or slip stitching or anything, and it turned out to be this lovely design. You can see that chevron stitch looks really cool. It kind of looks like stripes almost. That looks awesome. So this is what it will turn out to be, just a big tube. You're gonna want it, obviously, like I said in the beginning of this video, to make this much bigger than your hip measurement, because at the top here, this is going to be, actually that's the bottom, but this part here is going to be the top, and we're going to want to cinch that in around the waist like that, so then it comes down like this. Okay, but that's when we add the ribbon and everything. Also, I did want to show you how to sew this closed. I never showed you that in the beginning here. So take your yarn needle, okay, yarn your needle with that straggler at the beginning, and then go into this next stitch over here. See, we want to close this up like this, okay? So we're going to go into this stitch here. Okay, just through it, and then just go around in a circle, like a whip stitch kind of thing. Okay, then cinch that closed, and then tie a knot. So go in, go back around. See how I put my finger in there to keep that hole open? Just like that. There's a knot. And then you can do 2 or more knots if you want to. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to do that 1. And then you just want to weave in your end. Okay, just like that. And then you can even go back and forth if you want to. Some of you have commented, oh, go back and forth and weave that in tighter and don't let it unravel. So we don't want it to unravel, obviously, as we just worked so hard to get those 60 rows. Then just take that, cut that, stretch it out, and there it is. So this is actually the top of our skirt, okay? So that's the waistband part. It really doesn't matter though. It's the same amount of stitches on each end, okay? So this is just what it looks like, just a big tube of work here, okay? And you can make this as long as you want. I believe I did 65 rows in total, but you can do, you know, 80 if you want. If you're really tall, you're gonna obviously need to do more. If you're really short, or if you wanted to make this into a mini skirt, you could just, you know, stop at the halfway point, 30 rows maybe or something. But now we're gonna go on to the next step. So what we're going to do actually, since we did work in a continuous spiral, there's no way for us to fasten off or like slip stitch or anything. So I'll show you how to do that. So you're at this point, wherever you end. You can end at the top of a 3 double crochet grouping. You can stop in the middle of a, you know, 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches, or you could end on a double crochet 3 together. Wherever you want to stop this spiral. What you'll have to do is just skip the next stitch and then slip stitch into the next. So skip this stitch here, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. Okay, just like that. And then that closes that off. It's more of a flat, and it looks nice. Okay? So that's just how you fasten off. Now at this point you could just chain 1 and cut your yarn and have just the skirt have a plain edging, but I'm actually going to make a little bit of a scalloped edge here. So instead I actually chained 1 right there, and then in the same stitch there I am going to single crochet. So go in, then yarn over, pull through, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then I'm going to skip 1 stitch, and I'm going to put 5 double crochets into the next stitch, making a shell. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to skip 1 stitch, and we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. And then we're just going to repeat what we did. So skip the next stitch and put 5 double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then skip the next stitch and single crochet into the next stitch. Okay, where this is just the edge of our skirt. So just continue working that repeat for this very last round. And then once we get back to this beginning here, we're just gonna fasten off. So I'll show you how to do that. I'll finish this round and then I'll meet you up when I get back to this single crochet, and we will fasten this off, and then we'll do the waistband. Alright, so I'm like halfway through this round 66, but I ended up running out of yarn here, so I kind of want to show you how to change color or change yarn if you're using the same color. Change yarn in the middle if you run out of a skein, especially when you're making this skirt, you're going to run out of the skein, especially if you're using this same exact yarn for the modern baby, because these skeins are kind of small, only 173 yards, so I used about 6 of these skeins. So when I was running out of a skein and I came to this point here, I just started doing my next stitch. So I'm doing a double crochet here, so I have to skip this stitch here, go into this stitch, then yarn over and pull through, and then only yarn over and pull through 2 loops, okay? Then I left this straggler here, I dropped it, grabbed my new skein of yarn, and then hooked that on my hook and pulled that through to finish off that stitch, okay? And then pull everything tight. And then what I did, I know some of you don't like tying knots, but I ended up just doing a 1 tie knot. So I just wrapped this around each other, okay, and just pulled that tight just like that. And then I brought that straggler, or both of those stragglers, down on my work, and then I just continued working the pattern, working over those stragglers so that those get hidden as I go, and so I don't have to sew those in later. So that's just how I added a new yarn. That's if I'm using the same color, or even if you got a different color, you could just do that. And then we're just working over those stragglers to sew them in, and just working the same pattern. So now I'm just going to finish my last round of this scalloped edge here for the bottom of the skirt, and then, like I said, we'll go on to making the waistband. Alright, when you finish, you should end with 5 double crochets and then skip this last stitch and you're back to the beginning where that single crochet is. So we're going to slip stitch into there. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and through. And now we can fasten off this bottom part. So just chain 1 and cut that yarn and then continue to pull that through and pull it tight. And then we have to weave in that end. I highly recommend you weave your ends in as you go, just so that you don't have to at the end of this project, because it is a big project and you don't want a bunch of loose ends at the end here. So just sew that in underneath some of these stitches. Okay, and like I said earlier, you can go back and forth, you can just go straight through, just hide it underneath the stitches. Really doesn't matter how it's secure in there. And then you can stretch it out and then cut any extra. And there's the bottom. Okay, so now let me flip this over so you can see the bottom here. That is how our bottom looks. Lovely. Okay, so now we need to do the waistband because we have to weave a ribbon through there. And my ribbon is actually, what is my ribbon here? 7/8 inch thick. Okay, so if you look over this, over these stitches, this is too thick for one row of these double crochets. So it's not going to be able to be woven through these stitches. So I have to make taller stitches, which in this case would be treble crochets along the top of this waistband here. So how to do that? You can start in any stitch. Okay, and you can see in our foundation row, the reason we did that foundation double crochet was so that we could see these stitches on the top of this row here. Okay, just like that. So it's going to be much easier to work these stitches into these into this foundation row because we're working on the opposite side of our work, but yet these look like stitches, so it will be easier to find. So now grab your yarn. You can start anywhere. I'm just going to start right here. There's no increasing, decreasing, or any type of special stitches in this part here. We're just going to hook on that hook, pull it through, and then we're going to chain up 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that is going to count now as our first stitch of this round. Okay, we're just going to do one round of this. So we're just going to treble crochet into each stitch. So yarn over twice for a treble crochet. Go into the very next stitch right here. I'm also going to work over the top of my straggler, my loose end. I'm going to yarn over and pull through. Then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then yarn over and pull through 2 more loops, and then yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. Okay, that is a treble crochet. And then if you grab your ribbon, you'll be able to see that this will be able to be woven through those stitches very nicely. Okay, very easily. So we're going to treble crochet, so yarn over twice, go into the next stitch. You can also go around your loose end, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, again, yarn over twice, go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so I'm just making treble crochets all along this row, this foundation double crochet row, which is our waistband. Okay, so I'm just going to do that all the way around, and then I'll meet you up at the end of this round, this waistband round, and then we'll go on to the next step together. Alright, when you come back around, just treble crochet in each stitch. We're going to slip stitch to this beginning chain up 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right into that chain. Just go into the first loop and the back loop. Okay, so there's like 2 loops on top, 1 loop underneath there. Then yarn over and pull through and through. And then we can fasten this off. So chain 1, cut your yarn, pull that through and pull it tight. And just like the bottom part of this skirt, you can weave in this end. Okay, so just yarn your needle. Okay, and then just sew that in underneath these stitches, just like that. So Then you can weave in your ribbon on this row if you want to just have a plain skirt design. But if you'd like to make the panels on the side, the half circles, and make a cute design on the skirt, just follow along with me. We need to make 6 of the half circles. I'm just going to demonstrate one to you, and then you can make 6 of them. There's the waistband, looks good. Okay, so like I said, you can weave through the ribbon through that row and just have a plain skirt and tie that tight so that it is tighter around your waist. And there's the lovely skirt design, pretty. But now what we're going to do is make these half circles that are going to come like this down the side here on both sides. So like I said, I'm gonna make 6, or I'm gonna make 1 on camera, and then I'm gonna make 6 in total. So we'll come back and we will start that part next. Alright, so I set the skirt aside and I have my yarn to start the side panels. So like I said, you're going to have to make 6 of these, but I'm going to show you 1. So make a slip knot, so put your short end over your long end, then fold that down and pull that through and pull tight, and then insert your hook into that loop there, just like that. So now we need to start out by chaining 4, so yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3 and 4. And then we're going to come all the way to the first chain way over here and make a slip stitch to form a ring. So go into that chain, yarn over, pull through, and pull through that loop, just like that. So now we've created a ring. If you know how to start with the magic ring, you can start that way, but I'm just going to continue on from here. We're going to go on to row 1. It says to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and that's going to count as our first double crochet of this round and every row for this side panel. So now we have to put 9 double crochets into the ring. So yarn over, go into the ring, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so you guys know how to do double crochets. You did that throughout the whole skirt. So again, double crochet, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, ooh, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right, so that's what it should look like. Now, you should look back, you should have 10 stitches because this chain up 3 in the beginning here counted as a stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is that chain up 3 there. So now we're going to go on to row 2. We're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3. That counts as our double crochet. We're going to turn our work around. So now we're looking at the back of our work like this. And we're going to put 2 double crochets into each stitch across. But this first stitch, since there is a chain up 3 here and that counts as a stitch, we're going to put a double crochet in there. Okay, so yarn over, go into that first stitch there. Then yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So like I said, that looks like there's 2 stitches in that first stitch there. Now the rest of the stitches get 2 double crochets each. So 1 and 2, then the next stitch gets 2, 1 and 2, okay, then the next stitch, 1 and 2, okay, so at the end of this row you'll have 20 double crochets, so that'll meet you up for row 3. Alright, just finishing row 2 here. So now I have 20 stitches all the way across, just like that. So you can see the half circle is starting to take shape, which is really cool. So now we are going to go on to row 3. This is just a plain double crochet row. So we're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. Turn your work around. So now we're looking at it this way. And we are going to put 1 double crochet in each stitch. Now, since this chain of 3 counts as a stitch, we do not have to work anything into this stitch here, okay? So we're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So on row 3, you'll still have 20 double crochets. We're not increasing at all. So we're just putting 1 double crochet in each stitch across, and then I'll meet you up for row 4. Don't forget to double crochet into this chain up 3 at the end here. If you need to, count back to make sure you have your 20 stitches, and then go on to row 4. We're going to chain up 3. We're going to turn our work, so now we're looking at it like this, and we are going to increase on row 4. We're going to put a double crochet into the same stitch, so right into that same stitch that chain up 3 is in right there. Put a double crochet in there, and then put 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, and then we're just going to repeat. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next. Okay, and just repeat that across. At the end of row 4, you will have 30 double crochets. So then I'll meet you up and we'll go on to row 5. Alright, so I have 30 double crochets now. Now we're going to go on to row 5. We're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn your work around. And this row is just like row 3, where we're just putting 1 double crochet in each stitch across, and we're not working in this stitch here because this chain of 3 counts as a stitch. So just double crochet into the next stitch and in each stitch across for, again, a total of 30 stitches. So then I'll just meet you up for the next row. Alright, just finishing this row here, still have my 30 stitches. So now we're going to go on to row 6. We're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, 3, turn the work. And now we're going to increase on this row. So we're going to put a double crochet in that same stitch that our chain up 3 is in. So yarn over, go into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Then we're going to just put 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 1. And then we're just going to repeat that sequence. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch. 1 and 2. Both in that same stitch. And then 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Just like that. Okay. So again, 2 double crochets in the next stitch. And then 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. At the end of row 6, you'll have 40 double crochets, so then I'll meet you up for row 5. Okay, silly me, I meant row 7. I don't know why I said row 5 at that end of that clip, but we just finished row 6 here, so you should have your 40 double crochets. Going on to row 7 now. We're just going to double crochet row. So do chain up 3 here, then turn your work around, and then just put 1 double crochet in each stitch across. And remember, don't put 1 in that first stitch right there because that chain up 3 counts as 1. So if you need to, just count your stitches. At the end of row 7, you will have 40 double crochets still. So then I'll just meet you up for row 8. Alright, just going on to row 8 here, chain up 3, and then turn your work. And now we're going to do an increase row. We are going to put 1 double crochet in the same stitch as this first chain up 3 here. So yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Then we're going to put 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, just like that, and then we're just going to repeat that sequence. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so you can kind of see the increased pattern here. Now we're just going to continue working that pattern across here. At the end of row 8, we will have 50 double crochets now. So I'll just meet you up and we'll go on to row 9. Alright, going on to row 9, we're just going to chain up 3, turn our work. Okay, and we're just going to double crochet across, just like all the other rows 3 and 5 and 7. So this is row 9. We're just doing 1 double crochet into each stitch, And just remember, I wasn't working in that first stitch because that chain up 3 counts. So I just wanted to mention that again. I know it's a lot of repetition here, but we're just double crocheting across here. And then for row 10, we're going to increase. So I'll meet you up at that point. Alright, just going on to row 10 here, we got to chain up 3 and turn our work. And just like the even rows, this one is going to be an increase. So we are going to double crochet in that first stitch where that chain up 3 is. So yarn over, go in there and make a double crochet. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches now. So not in the next 3 like we did for round 8, we're going to do in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like that. There we go. Then we are going to repeat, so put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, just like that. So just do that all the way across. At the end of row 10, we'll have 60 double crochets. So then I'll meet you up for row 11. Alright, for row 11, we are just going to chain up 3, turn our work, and just put 1 double crochet in each stitch. And remember, don't do this stitch right here. So just go into the next stitch and just put 1 double crochet in each stitch across, just like all the odd rows on this piece. And then I'll meet you up for round 12 when we do an increase. Alright, just finished row 11 there. You should still have 60 double crochets. So now going on to row 12, we're going to do an increase. So chain up 3 and turn your work. And that is going to count as our first double crochet here. We're going to put a double crochet in that same stitch. So yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches for this row. Okay, so then at the end of this row, when we do the repeat, it will have 70 double crochets. So let's count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then just repeat that sequence. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2. Okay, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, just like that. So that's the repeat pattern right there. So again, 2 double crochets in the next stitch and 1 double crochet in the next 5. Like I said, you'll have 70 double crochets at the end of this row. So then I'll meet you up for row 13. Alright, so row 13 now, we're just going to do just like our other odd rows, chain up 3, turn your work, and just put 1 double crochet into each stitch across for a total of 70 double crochets again. So, row 12 had 70 double crochets with that increase. So now row 13 is an odd row, and that is just 1 double crochet just like this in each stitch across. And then I'll meet you up for the next row. We're going to increase again. Alright, just finishing row 13 here. Going on to row 14, we are going to chain up 3 and turn our work, and this is going to be an increase row. So we are going to double crochet into that first stitch right there where that chain up 3 is in. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet into the next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then just do a repeat of that. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch to do the increase, and then put 1 double crochet in the next 6 stitches. Okay, so at the end of row 14, you will have 80 double crochets. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll meet you up for row 15. Alright, going on to row 15, I'm already chained up 3 here, turning the work, and it's just like every other odd row that we've been doing, just double crochet in each stitch. Such a simple row, but I do want to keep this in a consistent order. So we have 16 rows. So this is row 15. Just double crochet all the way across. Okay, so we're not skipping any steps. I just want to show you everything. And we are going to go on to row 16, which would be our last row next, and we are increasing our last row. Alright, finished with row 15. I don't know why I was going to say 18. There's not even 18 rows on this piece. But this is what it looks like so far. So we just have to do one more row here. So let's do an increase. Let's chain up 3, turn our work. Alright, put a double crochet in that same stitch where that chain up 3 is in, right there. Okay, and then we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 7 stitches this row here. So let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then repeat. So put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next 7 stitches, and just keep repeating that until the end of this row. At the end of row 16, you will have 90 double crochets. I'll meet you up and we'll fasten off over there, but I just want to finish this row here, and then let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so in the sequence it's 9 stitches in total. There's 2 in the first stitch, 1 in the next 7 stitches, and just keep doing that. So I'll meet you up when we're about to fasten this piece off. Alright, once you finish row 16, if you want to, you can just continue on with the established pattern. Just do a double crochet row, then an increase row, then a double crochet row, and etc. to make this bigger. But I'm just going to fasten this off here. So chain 1, and we're going to fasten off quite long. And to do that, we're going to look at our piece like this. And we're going to take this tail here, kind of measure it all the way across here, and then go 1 back. Okay, like that, and that is where I'm going to cut this, like that. Okay, and we're going to continue to pull this all the way through, just like so, and pull tight. So that is fastened off. Now, you need to make 5 more of these, okay, so exactly like this. If you wanted to also make them smaller, you could have ended at any one of these rows, but I like it this size. It will look very nice on my skirt. Also, if you have this straggler, we just want to sew this in. So yarn your needle and then just sew in any loose ends that you have as you go once you make one of these panels. And then, like I said, though, you have to make 5 more of these, or you can make 3 more of these and just have 2 on each side, but I'm going to have 3 on each side. Okay, so I've made mine off camera, so I have all of mine here. Okay, so once you have them all finished, make sure you just fasten each one off with a long tail because we'll be using those for sewing. Okay, so once you have all 6 of these done, this is what they will all look like. Yes, they're beautiful. So now grab your skirt. Okay, so we're going to set this aside here, and we're going to grab the skirt. And now we want to decide which part is going to be the front. Okay, so you want to lay this out nicely. Okay, this treble crochet row is the top. It's the waistband of our skirt, okay? So you want that to be at the top, just like that. And you want to lay this out nicely, nice and flat. You want to decide which side is the front. So this side for me is going to be the front panel here, okay? And what we're going to do is actually take the center, okay, pull it forward, okay, and we're going to fold it like this. So now this is the side of our skirt, and we're looking at that side, okay? And what we're going to do is fold it nicely. If you need to, you can lay it out on something nice and flat, just like that. Okay, so now this is the front of my skirt, this is the side, this will be on my hip right here, and then this is basically my back end right here, okay? So this is the side. So what we're going to do is lay these panels down, and we're going to sew it from the front center across the side to the back center. So you may need to stretch it just a tad. And we're going to sew it right underneath the waistband treble crochet row. Okay, you can do it even a little bit lower too. Okay, just like that. Okay, and we're going to take this long strand here and our sewing needle, here we go, and yarn our needle. Okay, and I'm going to turn this toward me like this. So now we're looking at it like this. We're going to go across this part here. I'm going to put my hand inside of the skirt so I don't, you know, sew it closed. Okay, and we're going to kind of stretch this here. We're going to go into the panel piece, this half circle piece, and into the skirt, and we're just going to sew this in across. Okay, just like so. Okay, so again, go in and then back out. Okay, just weave that in and out across this piece, all the way across, and you're going to want to, you know, stretch it out so that it does cover all the way across here. Okay, if you need to, you can pin it down as well. Okay, but I'm just gonna continue. Once I get to the other side over there, I'm going to show you how to fasten this off, but I'm just going to continue doing this all the way across this side. You don't have to sew this part down on this flap here. This part, you don't have to sew this down, okay, because we'll be flipping this up and then sewing our next piece, our next half circle underneath here. So don't sew this side, just sew across this part here. Okay, so I'm going to do that all the way across, and then I'll meet you up when I'm going to fasten that off, and I'll show you how to do the next panel. Alright, once you get all the way across here, we're just going to go underneath some of these stitches, okay, and then make a loop, so put your finger in that loop there, and then go back into that loop, okay, kind of make a knot and pull tight, okay. I'll do that again. Maybe you can do it like 2 or 3 times. Just go under a couple of stitches. And then pull up that loop, go into that loop, pull tight, and pull tight. Okay? Then we're going to weave in this end underneath some of these stitches just to hide that loose end. Okay, just like this. And you can even go back. Okay, like that. Then stretch it out, and we'll cut that when I get my scissors. I dropped it on the floor earlier. So there is the first panel. Now, flip this up like this. Okay, we're going to grab another panel, another half circle here. And now you want to position this where you need it to be. Kind of stretch it out a little bit. Okay, put this one down, kind of see where you want it to be. You can kind of work this like a half circle, so we're going to actually, like a moon type, so we're going to actually hold it to it like this. Okay, so I'm going to sew it on like this, and even if this puckers out a little bit, that's okay. So, because it's going to be laying on your leg, on your hip, differently, so it'll look good. So I'm going to come up to about here. Okay, I'm gonna yarn my needle with that. Okay, and then we're gonna go into this piece. If you need to, put your hand inside to make sure you're not sewing your skirt closed. Go through all that work and then have it sewed closed. That would be so terrible. So just go in and out of your piece, weaving the second panel, the second half circle. Okay, in and out, just like that. And if you need to, you know, obviously manipulate your yarn the way you need it to be. Put this back down. Make sure it's laying flat. Make sure it's coming down. Okay, just like that. And again, if you have pins, I think that might be a little bit better to use pins to pin this down. I don't have any handy on me right now. I can grab some, but, and then also don't sew this closed. Okay, but again, this is exactly the same as our first panel, just sewing this one side across this piece. Okay, just kind of manipulating it to make it look good. And that's on your creator's choice kind of thing. If you wanted to do it straight across, or if you didn't want it to overlap, you could also, you know, pull this piece down further on the skirt, so there would be like some room between them too, instead of overlapping. That's another idea, but I'm just having them overlap, and I'm just gonna sew this across. I'm gonna fasten off just like I showed you for the first one, okay, and weave in that end, and then I will meet you up when I have the third one. I'm gonna start sewing on the third one. Alright, so I just have this second panel on there, so now I am going to attach this third piece, and it's basically exactly like how we attached the second piece. So fold this down and then kind of eyeball it where you want this piece to start and end. And again, if that ruches up, no big deal. That's going to flow nicely on the side of your skirt when you have it on. Okay, so now I'm going to start up here. Okay, actually we're going to start way over here. That sounds good. And then we're going to just go in and out, just like we did for the other ones. Super simple. Okay, so just sew these panels on, and then on the other side, you're just going to have to flip this over the whole skirt, just flip it over and sew on the other three on the other side. Okay, so that's basically it. I don't think I have to show you anything else, so then I will just sew on the rest of these pieces off camera, and then I'll meet you up when we are all finished with our entire skirt. We'll add a ribbon for embellishment, and it'll be beautiful. Alright, so I just sewed on these 3 more panels on the other side, and I thought, you know, I'm not sure if this is going to give me enough volume on my sides, so this next part is totally optional. What I'm going to do is actually ruche these up like this to kind of give this more of a shape to it, so more volume. So what I'm going to do is take a few strands. I'm just going to take one strand of this yellow yarn that we've been using, and taking my yarn needle, okay, and I'm going to do this for each panel, okay. This again is optional. So we're going to start at this top panel. You're going to go down the middle of this right here. We're going to go in like this to the bottom, okay. Then we're going to skip a few stitches, or a few rows, sorry, not a few stitches, a few rows, and going straight up to the center. We're going to go in, then we're going to come back out a few more rows, okay, so you can see here, and then we're going to go back in right before our thing here, just like this, okay. Then we're in the center here. We're going to go down into this piece here, okay, and if you flip this forward, you can see that we're coming down through there, just like that. Okay, so we kind of wove this through. Then we're going to actually tie this. You can either tie it in a knot or in a bow, however you, just like this, just pull it tight, okay. I'm just going to tie it in a little shoelace style knot here, just like that. Okay. Just to show you that this is an optional thing. So then you can just weave in those ends. If you tie it in a knot, just weave in your ends. And then this is kind of how it should look. Okay, maybe I pulled that a little too tight. There we go. So then it will cinch up in the middle here. You can manipulate the yarn how you need it to look, but that cinches that up, makes it nice and pretty, like that. Okay, so I've already done it to the other side, so you can see my work on the other side. I'm just going to flip this over, okay, because I'm going to do it to the other two panels on the other side there. But you can see these kind of look like bows now. So you'll have to manipulate this to kind of make it look good, just like that. And now it looks more like a princess style of a skirt. Okay, and when that lays on your hips and on your legs and everything, it will come out more and just look more, a little bit better than what it obviously looks like laying down flat. But when it's on you, it'll look much better. So I'm going to do that for those other two panels on the other side, and then we have to add our ribbon and we'll be done completely with our skirt finally. Alright, so you can see here I've ruched up all of 6 of these pieces here, and then that'll give more volume to the hips. But again, you don't have to do that. That was just a little personal preference. But now grab some ribbon, some that'll fit around your waist and that can tie. So I just cut a piece here, and I made it all fancy, cutting little slits like this, like little V. And you want to just start in the front here. We're going to start on this side, going in, and then going behind 2 stitches and coming out. Then going in front of 2 stitches and going in, and then coming back out after 2 stitches. So every 2 stitches, just like you're going in through belt loops, just go in and come back out. Okay, and just do that all the way around, and then you'll have your little waistband. So I'm just going to do that all the way around this piece, and then I'll meet you up after. Alright, so I just wove that all the way through that belt loops like that, the waistband, and you want to make sure these are even on both sides, and then you can, you know, tie a little bow for your waistband for the tie. Okay, obviously it'll be a lot prettier later. I'm just doing a quick job for the tutorial. But there it is! Our beautiful skirt is done! Congratulations! If you made this with me, I thank you so much for watching and learning how to make this. And if you did make this, make sure to share your photo on the Facebook and on the Instagram. Make sure to hashtag YARNutopia so I can see your beautiful skirts and beautiful work. And you know what? Happy Halloween! So thanks again for watching, everyone. I really thoroughly enjoyed making this princess skirt. So I will see you next time. Happy hooking!